Good evening everyone and welcome to TTL F1 Season 14 Round 8 here at the Singapore circuit. It is a fantastic street circuit which is in the centre of the city of Singapore, and I'm not Kieran McGinley, as you might already tell. I am JamesHead14. Kieran sadly not going to be here tonight. He's been caught up at work, working till 7 o'clock tonight. He's been caught up at work. He's finishing off on a junior karting event, I do believe, that's been hosted at his workplace this morning. So you're stuck with me for tonight. Kieran's having the night off. I am jumping in to save the day once again, and of course we are here for Season 14 Round 8 in Singapore, and I'm thrilled to be bringing you the action. It is my first time commentating around this track on the new game, and of course famous corners include the Singapore Sling, which was of course reduced from the chicane, now down to a single left-hander, and also the Anderson Bridge section. They're both in the middle sector around this track, 23 turns in total. In the meantime though, as everyone will start to join the lobby very soon, with 3 minutes to go until the start of the race, we have got driver standings as of round 7. Last time out in Belgium it was Spike who took the win, but that doesn't really have an impact on who's leading the championship, because Lyronix is still leading the championship on 135 points in the Racing Point car. Spike only 3 points behind him on 132 points. They are the two main title contenders. I think we can now boil it down to Warren in third on 52 points, and then we've got a tie for fourth with Sean and Jack on 50 points, 2 points separating third to fifth, which is unheard of. We've got T-Raw a further 12 points back in sixth on 38 points, the German driver in the McLaren. The Navy in the Racing Point in seventh on 28, Iceman in eighth on 20, Recon in a joint ninth position with Maze. They're both on 16 points, so that's filling out the top 10. Then we've got the Gort on 15, Alan Kay on 13, Lighty on 11, S. Graham on 10, Crazy Legs on 8, Uzi on 6, and Liam Hustwick on 1 point. 17 drivers so far have scored points this season. And the constructor standings, not as tight as what the driver standings are, sadly, but we've still pretty much got a two-way battle possibly for the constructor standings, with of course 3 races to go after this. So Mercedes on 182 points leading the way, with Racing Point in second on 162 points. They'll be hoping for more consistent results from their two drivers. Lyronix has been leading that team for the majority of the season. Will his teammate help him? I wonder. Red Bull in third on 90 points, with McLaren in fourth on 75, Ferrari in fifth on 63, then it's Renault in sixth on 55, and then a bit of a jump down to Haas on 24, Williams on 17, Toro Rosso on 16, and Alfa Romeo on 13. No nil point, which I am very glad to report in the constructors' standings. Looking to last week's race then, Belgium, Spike of course taking his second consecutive win of the season. That was with Germany and Belgium. He has had the most wins this season. You might be wondering to yourself, why is he not leading the championship? Well, I've been having a look through the data, and he has had 2 fourth-placed finishes this season in China and in Austria. Compared to Lyronix in the title battle, Lyronix has not been out of the top 3. That is a very consistent, that is pure consistency if I've ever seen it, for the German driver at the Racing Point. Of course, Navy will be hoping to help him in that. Navy, again, good string of results. A DNF last time out, but he'd be hoping to help with that Racing Point team. Looking further down from last week, a very interesting result, I've got to say, from T-Raw, getting his best place of the season. 4th place for the German driver in the McLaren. Warren finishing off in third. That was his 3rd race of the season, with 2 second places and a 3rd to his name so far. Jack finished 6th. He did start on pole last week in Belgium. Spike took the win, obviously, his teammate, but Jack has had a consistency to run on pole position, get pole position, and then not take that from qualifying into the race. Of course, the 2 times that he has qualified, which were China and last time out in Belgium, Lyronix won in China, Spike won in Belgium. So very interesting statistic there. Whenever Jack has qualified on pole position, there have been different winners of the race. Lyronix, in the meantime, his only pole position has came in Germany at his home track. Spike won that one as well. And then looking also, Spike's 2 pole position times, Lyronix and Jack won that time, and that was in Australia and Canada. So some very interesting statistics. We should be loading up very soon. We have got the majority of the guys that I've said that they're going to be attending here. We've got Lighty filling up for the second McLaren as well. 15 drivers so far. Of course, only me in the commentary box if you are tuning in and not hearing the beautiful voice of Kieran McGinley. He is stuck at work, sadly. I think he's got to pick up his mum after he's finished at work as well. So just no chance with the timings that he is going to make it here tonight. So co-commentator becomes lead commentator here tonight, I think for the second week in a row in TTL F1. And I'm here to bring you the heart of the action at what is arguably the longest circuit on the F1 calendar. One of the most technical tracks on the F1 calendar as well. And of course, the calendar being released today, 22 tracks. Singapore is one of those tracks that has signed a multi-year agreement with Liberty Media on the calendar for a long time to come. I think for the next up to around 2023, I do believe their deal runs up to. Of course, Spain was the last track on that provisional calendar, and I may stress it is a provisional calendar. It is the 6th race in the season. Vietnam, new track, is the 3rd race in the season. That comes before China. And then the 5th race of the season, we go to Zandvoort in the Netherlands. So that is the 5th race of the season. And of course, it'll be interesting to see how everyone does cope when those tracks are released, obviously, on the new game, whenever that is decided to come out. But in terms of Singapore tonight, as I say, 23 corners for the drivers to really get a grips of. It's a wide out track. It's completely spaced out, the track. But there are very technical corners here in Singapore. 2 DRS zones, one on the start-finish straight between 23 and turn 1, and also a DRS zone, essentially what you could call the back straight, turn 5 to turn 7, that is towards the end of sector 1. I'm going to have a look at the comment section though as we get into qualifying. 15 drivers, as I say, tuning in tonight and going to race with us here tonight in Singapore. Looking at the comment section in the meantime, let me have a look. Let me have a look at some of the comments. Plenty of comments coming through. I need to try and keep up with this. Do apologise about the coughing. Lyronix threw some shade at his teammate. Ouch, says Andy. Looking through, I hate this team. Hashtag silly season for Lyronix. Don't be so disheartened at performances. Of course, your teammate might not be giving the performances, but you're the one that's leading the team at the end of the day, Lyronix. And I think, all intents and purposes, Racing Point can still get that Constructors. We've got 3 races to go, as I say, after this one. Japan, Mexico and Abu Dhabi, if my mind serves me right. However, we are now on track in Singapore. Beautiful lighting, I've got to say. I love this lighting that they've done on the new game. It is absolutely sublime, and I think we are running at the midnight temperature. We are running at either official time or probably midnight, I would imagine, are the times that I think we're going through. Warren coming through what is the what was the Singapore thing, of course, that chicane which caught out Yarno Trulli back in the day. Now coming across the Anderson Bridge section. I'm just trying to pick up on whether I've got sound or not. I do not have any sound, which is absolutely fantastic. And that hasn't fixed it. Right, I'm going to have to do a quick jump in there, and literally the sound comes back as soon as I leave the session. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I couldn't hear any sound on my end, so apologies about this, guys. Just going to get this slight technical thing fixed. I'm going to take that next, take another invite from Sean. I have got an invite, guys, so I'm joining back the session now, as you can probably see on your screens. Don't be worried, you won't be missing much in qualifying. I am back, everyone's names are blooded up. Right, let's get going. Kieran McGinley, I think, has had a bit of an influence on the sound tonight. Maybe he is trying to mess up with the stream. Who knows? Mine can play terrible tricks sometimes, honestly. But hopefully Kieran will be watching on later on in the stream. In the meantime though, as we get going in qualifying, I'm above the wrong person. Warren has just started a lap. So yeah, again, you haven't missed much. It's literally, you've only missed the final sector on a formation lap. As Warren now comes through the first sector to 27.3. Done a set of hard compound of tyres. Differing strategy, as I say. Anybody that goes out on the set of softs run the risk really of going too quick and then crashing into the wall. Of course, very tight track, very condensed track here in Singapore. Yellow flag in sector 2. Already I have a feeling somebody's just done that, and a bit of a commentator's curse as now Warren approaches through the middle sector, and that is coming through onto the Anderson Bridge section through turn 12 and 13. You can run wide of the camber of the hairpin there at turn 13. Now on the run down what is essentially the back straight. I think there should be a DRS zone here. Running through though into turn 14. Then into the final sector. There's a 105, I think, through the middle sector there for Warren. Done a set of hard, so do bear this in mind when you're having a look through later on at some of the times that are going to be set on the medium compound of tyre, for example. Now through the grandstand section at turns 18 and 19. Now through 20 and 21. Lovely 90-degree corners here in Singapore, coming through nicely. Now Warren through the final couple of corners. And he's going to manage a 38 flat to begin off with. So 38 flat to begin off with. I think that's Liam Hustwick coming across the line just in behind. It is. It's a 38.3 and a set of softs for Hustwick. Recon is on a lap as well. He's just approaching the grandstand section. Again, beautiful camera angles around here at Singapore in the night, adding to that lighting effect really nicely. And Recon on a lap in that house. Might have just invalidated there at turn 21. As he comes through now, turn 22, 23. T-Raw, Escrim, and George. Recon goes to the top, and it's a 35.1. Recon with a 35.1. Absolutely fantastic lap there. And has already put it to the sword. Likely just comes in beyond by a second. Again, don't be surprised they're on the soft compound of tyre. They're 3 compound of tyre. So if you are new to this channel, and if you're just popping in and saying hello to me, the 3 compound of tyres, I will get this out now. Soft compound of tyre, the softest and the quickest compound of tyre here in qualifying. The medium compound of tyre, the yellow wall tyre, which George is beautifully displaying off coming through towards the Singapore sling section. And George is on a set of medium compound of tyres. This is the medium of the 3 compound of tyres. It's a yellow wall tyre as well. It's more durable than the softs. However, it's a bit, I would say it's a bit in the middle, as the name suggests really, medium compound of tyre. If you work that out before me, then you're an absolute god. Sean on the set of hards is the 3rd compound of tyre that we have got on offer here tonight. Of course, if it does rain in the race, we could have inters and wets as well. Sean on the hard compound of tyre, again more durable than both the softs and the mediums. Can last longer going into the race. That's not what we like to see. Sean cutting across the grass, cutting across the chicane there. But yeah, the set of hard compound of tyres more durable in qualifying, but you could get a 1-stop possibly out of this, and you can really see from the shine on the tyres, it doesn't really give the blistering now on the tyres. I will speak more about the blistering when it comes through the race, as Alan Kay has retired from the session. That is through sector 2. Lighty coming through sector 3 in the meantime. He is not on a lap. It's Recon, Lighty and Warren who is off track at sector 2. That is down the escape road at the start of sector 2 in fact, as a turn, that is a turn 7 that is for Warren. And he's moving across to the side. There must be a car coming just in behind them. There is Toro Rosso just flying through shot there. Guessing that might be Iceman on a lap. And it's not Iceman on a lap. I think it's S. Graham on a lap. It is. S. Graham 6/10 down in the first sector. We'll go on board with Iceman then. Of course, part of the Nexus Esports team. If you haven't watched the Mini League from last night, go and watch both races back later on tonight. Mini League 1 and Mini League 2, of course, bearing the brunt of the best action you would see in league racing. Fantastic, fantastic action to commentate on. And well done to Livid Motorsport, who took, with both their main team and their academy team, the win. And if I've just spoke this for you, I'm sorry. Iceman on the lap though, coming through the final sector, coming through the grandstand section now, into turns 20 and 21, then a double left-hander at 22 and 23. It looks like he's just invalidated there, and he's going to decide to come into the pit. He wasn't bearing any resemblance of a good lap time there either from Iceman. Sean, in the meantime, just across the Anderson Bridge section, around the hairpin at turn 13, on the run up towards turn 14 at the end of sector 2. He is a 10th up, it's a 105.4 through the middle sector for Sean. Again, he's on the set of hard compound of tyres, so do bear this in mind going forward in the session. We're 8 minutes through, it's Recon, Lighty and Warren filling out the top 3. Lyronic's nearly quickest on the set of hard compound of tyres, 37.5 the German has set. And that's looking good at the minute. Spike and Jack, two of the main contenders of the qualifying, both are my tyre graphic out on a set of softs. Well, that remains to be seen when we go on both of them. They're on an outlap, however, as Sean, through the final corner, takes it nicely. He goes 7 tenths up in the end, 39 flat for Sean, and he is around a 10th off T-Raw, who is in 6th in the McLaren, who's currently in the pits. As that is the McLaren of Jack just filtering through. Spike about to start a lap though in the meantime. Let's go on board and take you through on an onboard lap with Spike. Of course, he took pole position here last time out. It was Jack, sorry, who took pole position last time out in Belgium. His teammate looking to try and get a third consecutive race win after Germany and Belgium. Now coming through turn 5, the kink at turn 6 is next. Opens up the DRS, can reach in excess of around 195 mile an hour before the braking zone. Holds it in that 7th gear and a dead on 195 miles an hour. Beautiful line through there, and it was a 26 I think through the first sector from Spike. Looking good, but clouting the wall, and he knows it. He knows it. That is a shake of the wheels there from Spike. That is not good from him. We'll go on board with his teammate though, and just in behind him out on track, it's Jack coming through. Of course, he did set pole position last time out in Belgium. The second of his pole positions that he set so far this season, China being his first. Be interesting to see how he copes here. And Jack has won a race, of course, back in Canada. And again, as I say, it should be really, really tight between Jack, Spike, possibly Lyronix as well. I think that might be the top 3. 102.9 through the middle sector for Jack. Very quick middle sector. I think he's going to be up here with Recon, maybe even going into the 34s here. And if he does this, it'll be a fantastic lap from Jack, who of course was representing TTG into second place in the mini league last night. Academy sadly not bearing too well, let's just say it. Warren putting in a very good performance last night in mini league. Jack though ran the final 2 corners at turn 22 and 23. He's going to go quickest, and he just goes quickest by about a 10th of a second. So Jack is up to the top of the leaderboard in qualifying. He likes that, he goes off track. Famously, of course, turn 1 a couple of seasons ago in Formula 1, wet compound of tyres. It was a wet start to the race. Fernando Alonso, Max Verstappen having a crash, and the massive crash between the Ferrari on the straight, as well as Max Verstappen. Really proving, hopefully we don't see anything like that tonight. I think these guys know their limits. May's just coming through sector 1. Lighty in the meantime is through sector 2. He's just through that Singapore sling. I like to call it that because it is just a Singapore sling for that left-hander. Lighty though on a very good lap here. Where's this going to bear in mind? Remember, 102.9 I think it was from Jack in the middle sector. Coming through the middle sector point now, and he is 700ths down. He's around a second off Jack's time. So in theory, his Recon has gone quicker with a 34.9, and he goes 600ths quicker than the previous pole sitter of Jack. But look at the times, it's 1.7 seconds from Jack to Lighty. 1.7 seconds. McLaren just getting out of the way there. That's T-Raw on an outlap, gets out of the way of his teammate, and Lighty now approaching the final 2 corners. Turns 22 and 23. Almost looks like there's a drain cover picking up there. I think he's improving, he does. He finds the time by about 0.3 of a second there in that final sector, and it is a 36.5 from Lighty, who goes into 3rd. May's on the lap, as I said earlier on. He's just coming through the grandstand section now and into turns 20 and 21. And reaching the DRS detection zone, of course. Very short run with the DRS. He hasn't got any ERS left on his lap. May's going to be coming across the line now, though. He's going to jump in just ahead of Liam Hustwick by about 0.006 of a second there. So Mays goes 6th, Liam in 7th at this stage. And Liam, in fact, is improving 4 tenths. And he's on a set of mediums. He was on a set of softs. Goes around the final corner, he goes ahead, back ahead of Mays, and he's only a 10th off Lyronics as well, so a very good lap from him. In the meantime, Warren is on an absolute flyer through the middle sector. He's 1.5 seconds up, of course, a 37.3 Marcella Hards. This is going to bear very close. He's going to come into the pit. Maybe he invalidated there coming through the final couple of corners or somewhere, certainly out on track. He's invalidated, he's back into the pits. Iceman is on a lap, still yet to set a bearable lap time for the Nexus Esports team, but he's around the final 2 corners now. Absolutely pelts that section to 36.7. He jumps into 4th, just behind Lighty. Very nice lap there by Iceman. Just flicking through to see if anybody else is on a lap. I think T-Raw was on a lap. He was on a out lap the previous lap. Of course, he did let through Lighty when he went 3rd with that 36.5. T-Raw now coming through the final couple of corners, really attacking these final last 2 corners, and he goes ahead of his teammate by about 0.03 of a second. So T-Raw goes ahead of Lighty with around 4.5 minutes to go in qualifying. It is Recon who is out on top when I get to him. It is Recon out on top, Jack in 2nd, T-Raw in 3rd. There we go, Recon 1st, Jack 2nd, T-Raw in 3rd. That's what I was trying to do. Game not allowing me to do that. Lyronics on a lap in the meantime. I think Spike was just starting up a lap as well. We've got the Gort, who I'm going to focus on now on a lap. 1.3 seconds up in the first sector. Theoretically, that'll put him around Liam Hustwick Mays sort of area. 37.8 I'd make that as through the middle sector in terms of theoretical time. Of course, you will find the time very close to the wall there on the right hand side as he comes through the grandstand section at turn 18 and 19, now through 20 and 21. Of course, different track next week. We're in Japan, Suzuka International Circuit next week. We go on the Asian Tour pretty much to end us off in the season. The Gort comes across the line in the meantime. 37.2, found another 6/10 in that final sector and jumps ahead of Warren. Lyronics in the meantime on a lap. He's coming through the final couple of corners. This is a very quick lap on a set of mediums. He jumps in 5/10 behind Jack. That is not a bad lap there at all from Lyronics. Really great lap. And he is 9/10 ahead of T-Raw, his fellow German, in 4th place. But it is Recon, Jack, Lyronics with 3 minutes to go in the session. Everyone in the pits will be coming out very shortly indeed. Of course, it is a very long lap. 35 average, I'm going to say, around here, to even try and get a lap in. So people will be coming out the pits very soon. In the meantime, Spike getting very close to the wall, just catching the curb slightly on the inside. Might have just invalidated that. He comes across the line to 37.3 from Spike. And of course, he did win last time out in Belgium. And currently, I don't think he's going to have time for another lap either. Yeah, he's not going to have another time for a lap. So Spike, his qualifying session looks done at this stage as Mays retires in the first sector. You might see that just ahead because there is Sean coming through just to start a lap on a set of medium compound of time. We'll focus on board, see if we can see Mays anywhere through the first sector. It must have been, was it in the pit lane possibly? I think it might have been in the pit lane for Mays. We can confirm that, that'll be absolutely fantastic. S. Graham is 600s down in the first sector. I'm just trying to pick up on somebody that might be on a lap. We haven't got anybody that's on a lap, so we'll focus on Sean then. Coming through the left-hander towards the Anderson Bridge section now, which is this bridge that he's coming up towards now, coming through towards the hairpin at turn 13, through the kink at turn 12, then through turn 13. Very nice indeed. There are little kinks on this track, like this one coming up, not counted as a corner on the official FOM map. Very strange. He's the second up though through the middle sector, and that's a very good bearable middle sector there. 104 flat, I think that was from Sean, as the Gort retires in sector 1. Again, I think that might have been done in the pit lane. Sean in the meantime coming through the grandstand section now. Very nice, catching the apex nicely. Don't want to get too close to the wall. I've seen many a driver get out of the way. McLaren getting out of the way there, Lighty on a lap. About a minute to go, just over a minute to go here in qualifying. It's Recon, Jack and Lyronics, and if you're just tuning in, I'm James Head 14, your commentator. Sean comes across the line with a 37.8. It's rounded up to 37.799. And Sean goes ahead of Mays, his teammate, by about 0.4 of a second there, just under 0.4 of a second. Sean ahead of Mays. S. Graham didn't improve on that lap. We'll go on board then with let's pick on somebody. Let's go on board with Warren. He's just ahead of Lighty on a lap. Jack has just started a lap as well. We've got Recon about to go on for a lap as well. Spike is through the first sector. But Warren in the meantime, coming through the middle sector, now through the left-hander at the Singapore sling. Looking nice. Very good. Catching the apex nicely, just a little bit hesitant there. You can power that through, clean off through the corner, and you can really catch the speed through there. Now through the hairpin, that was a very neat entry. This is a good lap from Warren through the middle sector to 103 flat. Again, 1.2 seconds up. If you are one of those statisticians watching, it's going to be around about a 35.7, 35.6 sort of area, I think, with a theoretical best here. It was on a set of hards, now on a set of mediums. Through turns 18 and 19, very close to the wall there at the grandstand section. Sean is out of the session, retires in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Not sure if he might have crashed that. Warren then through the final couple of corners. He's only got the two left-handers at 22 and 23 to come round. Warren, he's going to be very close. He's going to be ahead of Lyronix, 35.2. Ignore what I said about theoretical best. That's all out the window. Warren with a 35.2 and goes third. Brilliant lap on a set of mediums. Watch out for this guy going forward. Watch out for this guy going forward. Spike is about to come across the line. Don't think he's improving. He's not improving in the end. Lighty has jumped up to 5th with a 36 flat. Jack, in the meantime, is the only one that can knock Recon off pole, and I think he's exactly going to do that. He's 2/10 up in the middle sector. Jack round the final corner, and it is a 34.80 goes pole by nearly 2/10 of a second. So Jack finds the time, just loses a little bit of time in that final sector. Recon has came out on an outlap apparently. There he is. He's not going to get round, sadly. Recon trying his hardest to get round. He's not on a lap. Oh, he is on a lap, sorry. He is on a lap. Well, that was a glitch on my end. It's a 34.7 for Recon. And he takes pole position right at the death. I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was in the pit lane. Anyways, Recon has snatched it off Jack. Dramatic end to qualifying here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit in Singapore. Recon takes it for pole position, 500s ahead of Jack. Warren, fastest of the medium runners, in third with Lyronix in fourth. Lighty 5th, T-War 6th, Iceman 7th, Gorton 8th. Spike, interestingly, starting on a hard set of compound of tyres. He's in 9th, Huswick in 10th. Liam Huswick, that is. Sean in 11th, Mason 12th. The two Ferraris disappointing in qualifying, with S. Graham, George and Alan Kay filling out the top 15. And of course, remember, Sean Mays, S. Graham, George and Alan Kay will get to race on their own set of tyres. They can choose whatever tyre they want to go on, softs, mediums or hards. Be interesting to see the strategies. As the top 10 has shown, most of them opting to go mediums, and possibly a one-stop strategy could work. There is a bit of a leeway for a two-stop strategy. I think on paper, I was weighing up the strategies, and from my perspective, I took a driver that I know very well, and he did two strategies for me, and it seemed like the two-stop round here, from softs to from mediums to hards, and then to softs very late on, does gain you a lot of time, but it obviously does depend on the drivers and where they are at in the race. As we count down now to the start of the formation lap, do put in your predictions, by the way, in the comments section. Of course, the comments section enabled tonight after last night's mini league. So we have got the chat open, ready for your comments to come flooding through. Looking at the meantime, my game is bugged, went on harder tyres and gave me all soft, says Recon. That is a shame, but he does start on pole position, and he is on a set of soft compound of tyres, as he has said in that comment. Warren coming in the comment section saying, went off to let cars go, no invalidation. Recon and me are top 10 time trial around here. I think it was a 33.72 something, I think it was. I thought I might have used your setup when I was trying to practice round here in earlier on, but there you go. Coming through, he did a 34.8 in practice, says Warren as well. And of course, do put in predictions in the comment section. 31 laps for you to whet your appetite with here tonight, so grab an alcoholic drink. I have not got a drink with me. I don't intend to get one either. I think I can cope fine with my thought mentals once again. Again, unsure on the schedule for tomorrow. There might be a little desync going on actually between Warren and Jack. There might be a potential descent going on, I'm not sure, but that is definitely on my end anyways. Just seeing them possibly going into each other. Keep an eye on that. We'll run through the strategies though in the meantime for further down the field. Sean, Mays, George all opting to go medium compound of tyres, which is the middle of the 3 compound of tyres, and the most likely to get a 1 stop possibly round here. Alan Kay opting to go for a set of hards. Don't blame him, to be honest, he's down in last, with George just ahead of him on a set of mediums. As long as he keeps it within the white lines and doesn't crash or anything into the wall and lose any front wing, I think Alan Kay could have an outside chance of points here tonight. And the only one out of the bottom 5 to go on a different strategy is S. Graham, who's on a set of softs. Watch out for the set of softs further ahead in the meantime. Recon and Jack. Recon already ran the final corner. Max Verstappen-esque formation lap there, very quick, as we saw. I think it was last night in Germany in Mini League 1. We had a very fast formation lap set there by one of the Livid Racing drivers. We wait then. I'm just going to stick to this camera angle because this is a perfect camera angle at the start of the race. George and Alan Kay now filtering through the final 2 corners there. In the background of shot, they're going to join into their grid positions very shortly indeed, and we should be set for 5 red lights here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, not to be confused with Yes Marina in Abu Dhabi, of course. It is Recon that's going to be setting off on pole position, and we are going to get prepared for 5 red lights here in Singapore for round 8 of the championship. And it is light down, away we go. Very good start by Jack. Lyronix bogs down off the start, slightly losing the position to Lighty. And Jack, with that great start, is down the inside into turn 1. Lyronix has got a double move on Lighty, who was spun. Timo was spun in the background there, I should say. It's the other McLaren that is spun. But Jack has got the break on Recon early on. Lyronix is up to 3rd after a bold move down the inside. They come through, filter through turn 5 safely. 3 wide in the background, I think, just in behind. Sean getting very close to Gort. Spike as well, trying to make inroads to go around the outside of Iceman. And he is around the outside of Iceman. Good respect, Sean there. Sean trying to go up the inside of the Gort as well. Not quite. Husbeck in behind. Very clean start apart from T-Raw's spin. Might have been a bit of lag with that, but it is Jack who has got out in front by 5/10 of a second early on. And he's putting the hammer down here. And he's coming to, and he's saying to the other drivers, catch me if you can, because he is pulling out that gap. Sean has gone ahead of the Gort in the meantime. I think there's been a little bit of a Constantino effect possibly in behind there, but Sean is through on the Gort, who is struggling. I think he's missing his left side end plate as well. He is. He's missing his left side end plate. Is the Gort. So the Gort will struggle around, and he is going to let Husbeck through, which is, I think, the best possible thing he can do. Let's through S. Graham as well. There's a battle for 4th going on. Side by side they go into the final sector, and it is Warren and Lighty, and Warren has got the move done on Lighty, and he's up to P4 with a bold move there coming through turn 17. To 18 and 19 to go under the grandstand. Jack not beginning. He was pulling away early on in this lap, but he is now just starting to lose that time slightly. Maybe the tyres just starting to come in. But at the end of lap 1, there's Jack. Recon running very wide there in the background of shot. Lyronix in 3rd, Warren in 4th, Lighty in 5th, Spike in 6th. Sean is through on Iceman, who was into the pit. So Iceman comes into the pits early on. He must have picked up damage. But a 3-way battle for the lead begins to hot up. On lap 2 out of 31. And there's Jack, Recon, Lyronix, who leads the way early on. So now settled down. Recon right on the back of Jack now, really gaining on him. The straight line speed, he's going to have a go now down the inside of turn 7. Is he bold enough to go for the move? Not quite. He forces Jack into a bit of a mistake. Lyronix in the background, probably trying to eye up a double move. They go side by side through here. Recon's got the inside line. He might pull this off, you know. Recon down the inside of Jack, nearly punts him into the wall. Jack keeps around the outside somehow and keeps the lead. Lyronix is just whetting his appetite in behind and just thinking to myself, come on guys, you can fight as much as you like. Lyronix will be there to pick up all the pieces. Warren in behind and Lighty begin to get onto the back of this as well. Jack looks like he's struggling though. Recon all over the back of him with the German driver Lyronix in 3rd, Warren in 4th. Lighty just losing a little bit of time at the hairpin there, just in the back of shot. Recon gets very close to the back end there with Jack. Nearly contact there. Warren a little bit squirmish out of the right-hander at turn 14. That was into the final sector, of course. As they come through the grandstand section for the second time, it is Jack who leads the way, Recon second, Lyronix in third. We'll focus on this battle for the lead for now. T-War is making eye-catching progress through the field. He's gained ahead of George and Alan Kay. Iceman and the Ghost have came into the pits for a medium set of compound of tyres and a set of hards for the Ghost as well. Iceman on the set of mediums. So, at the end of Sector 2, running very wide there again was Warren. Running very wide. He does gain the time as a result. That sets the fastest lap with a 41.1. But this is where it's all beginning. It is all going to begin to heat up because the DRS is now enabled. It's lap 3 out of 31. It's Jack who leads the way with Recon in second, Lyronix in third. And look how close it's going to get running down the straight. We'll go on board from Lyronix's point of view. He hasn't got the speed down the straight. Recon has got the speed though. And the DRS open. He's going to try and lunge it down the inside again. Just trying to force Jack with a bit of a mistake. It was a beautiful entry and exit there from Jack. And he just gains a little bit of time to come in towards the middle sector. At turn 7 and 8 and now coming through turn 9 the left-hander before the Singapore sling. T-War is now ahead of Mays and behind. He is up to P10, the German driver ahead of the Brit. But as it stands, it is Jack who leads the way. 0.5 of a second. Just seems to begin to get into a bit more of a rhythm now. Jack out in front. Just begin to extend that gap slightly. It's 0.6 of a second as he comes across the Anderson Bridge. Turn 13 hairpin. Recon in second, Lyronix in third, but Warren looks quicker out of the top 4, if I've got to be honest. Spike, in the meantime, is looking for an overtaking opportunity on Lighty. Should he not round the outside into turn 14? He gives him room, Lighty holds on to the position. So Lighty holds on, Warren on the back of Lyronix in the meantime. It's all beginning to kick off slightly. Recon hits the wall right in front of camera there, and he's nearly into the wall once again, loses the right side end plate. That is going to be potentially a race killer for him. Is he going to decide to come into the pits now and go very early? Yes, he is. Recon's going to come into the pits. Front wing damage is very, very time consuming around here in Singapore, and that's the right decision made. Recon into the pits after picking up that front wing damage. If you didn't see that, go back on the stream because there was definitely a right side end plate coming off as he hit the wall just on the exit. I think that was off turn 17 in the final sector, just before the grandstand section. But because Recon has came into the pits, that now frees up Lyronix into second, with Warren now chasing him down in third. He's the only one out of the top 3 that has got the DRS. Lyronix, of course, not having the DRS as a result of Recon going into the pits. Spike now down the inside of Lighty. Good respect given and a good move. Spike is down the inside and he is up to P4. There is a yellow flag in sector 1. There is a safety car out on track. So I'm not sure what has happened there. I think it was Alan Kay spinning out of turn 3. That might have been the cause. But we have got a safety car out on track. That's one of the most ridiculous safety car calls I think I've ever seen. If I've got to be honest, that is... Not everyone's going around out on track. It's going to back up the field now, and it is going to turn this race into a bit more of a strategy race as opposed to a pace race. And that might just give Jack a little bit more of an advantage out in front. I'm not sure if these guys are keeping to their deltas. Just watch out for any time penalties that might get picked up as a result. Speaking of which, I haven't seen any time penalties so far, but safety car out on track for probably one of the most ridiculous things I could ever imagine. Nobody has crashed out. Alan Kay has spun out of turn 3, I think it was. Recon was coming out the pits in the meantime to replace his front wing. Safety car called. Absolutely ridiculous, but it is now going to spice up the race. So I think for the viewers, sit back and relax because this is going to be a very long night. What is the top 3 going to do? Like, Jack's going to come into the pits. Lyronix is going to continue. Warren's going to continue. I think Lighty will be in as well, just in behind. Yeah, Lighty and a set of softs will be coming in. Drive-through penalty for... who was that? That was Iceman speeding under the safety car. And I think Warren has left the session as well. Warren has left the session. Not sure what has gone on there with Warren. Hopefully he can get back in. Somebody can give him an invite. That'd be absolutely fantastic. We are under a safety car period, of course. So Warren now has to do all the hard work once again when he rejoins the session. Hopefully it's not a power outage or anything like that. Turn off your device if you've got airplane mode. If you haven't got airplane mode on, if anybody hasn't got airplane mode on, turn it off, put it on now. It'll save you your connection, honestly, and it'll make the connection in the lobby a lot better. But now under the safety car period, Spike trying to overtake Warren. You cannot overtake an AI car, sadly. Once again, they haven't fixed this. There's plenty of activity, though, in the pits. In the meantime, Escrim has came out of the pits. The Ghost has came out of the pits. So has George. Alan Kay has jumped ahead of Recon, who's going to go He's not going to go to the end of the race on 26 laps, is he? Iceman into the pits. No surprise, really, he's gone for a set of softs. Good news, though, is Warren is rejoining. His name has disappeared on the left-hand side of the screen. That is an indicator to me that he is rejoining the session. So, sit back and relax. I think the safety car will probably be in around a lap or two's time. Definitely not this lap. It'll probably be around next lap, I would imagine, for the safety car. So just sit back and relax and enjoy the commentary for now as we stick under the safety car period. It's a good chance now for me to check the comment section. Having a look at some of the comments that have came through, looks like Iceman has gone medium tyres again, same as he started on, committed to the 2-stop for Schuer now. That was before that he has got a penalty for. Of course, he did come into the pits recently for a set of soft compound of tyres. Warren has taken control of his car, which I'm very glad to report. And Warren leaving, and I did mention this in the formation lap, I do believe. Can't see Jack on track, and he left because of the desync. Hopefully it has fixed itself now, that desync, and hopefully now we'll be able to see Jack out on track. Jack is about 5 cars behind you, Warren, so if you can look, and if you spot out a Mercedes about 5 cars behind you, that is Jack. Spike is just behind you if you can't see him. And Spike also coming into the comment section as we have started lap 6 out of 31. Lyronic's in the lead, Warren in second, Spike in third. No changes to the order under the safety car period. But of course, this now gives an opportunity for the rest of the field to just warm up their tyres. And it gives me a bit of a... Andy coming into the comment section. Is that the reason for the safety car? Work got in the way there. Alan Kay spinning out of turn 3 is the cause of the safety car. I think that is what has happened. I am under the impression that has happened. Yeah, Warren has just joined back officially in the session. He did take control of his car about a minute before it came up on my screen. But in the meantime, everyone just joining back on. George is the next one to join onto the back of the safety car queue with Alan Kay and Recon just in behind. It will be interesting to note out how Recon is going to get on the sort of hard compound of tyres, of course. Those guys now opting to go medium and hard. With the safety car out, it's just going to give the tyres a little bit of time to rest a little bit, and now the wear will probably be around 2-3% less than average, which for the medium compound of tyres I think you can make it to around lap 13-14, and then you've got a pit. So maybe they can now extend that strategy to about 15 or 16 possibly. Remains to be seen. Position gains in the meantime though. Let me take you through the position gains. Of course it is all spread out because of the safety car. In race order, Lyronic's gained 3 positions, Warren has gained 1, Spike has gained 6, Sean has gained 7, T-Raw has gained 1, Maze has gained 6, Jack has lost 5 as the safety car is going to come in this lap as Iceman joins onto the back of the pack. Running down quickly, Lighty has lost 3 positions, Huswick has gained 1, Esquem has gained 3, The Ghost has lost 3, George has gained 2, Alan Kay has gained 2, Recon from pole position down into P14. Maze and Jack are swapping positions once again, and Iceman has lost their positions as well. But of course, the action about to get underway, and I think Lyronix backs up the pack. Where is he going to go? I think he'll probably go after the second chicane here at turns 20 and 21. I have a feeling he'll floor it and put the hammer down. Of course, backing up the pack, everyone just got to be careful. Leave the good cards with. Don't do what Spike's just nearly done and run into the back of Warren. Very close to contact there, but now, as I said, Lyronix floors it and he's gained a mass amount of time there coming off the restart. 4/10 of a second already. Lyronix comes through the final corner, runs wide. Warren has spun out the final corner, and there's plenty of spinners in the final corner. That is T-Raw round as well. Warren has a spin. I think Spike has got an illegal overtake on Warren there as well. T-Raw has spun in the background. All clean apart from that. There is T-Raw just off track. Not sure what happened there under the safety car restart. Maybe the tyre is just very, very cold indeed. As Jack has got through on Maze. Jack is through up now to P5. With Warren now and T-Raw, who was ahead of him out on track, 2 positions, pretty much regained as Lighty now comes under attack. Of course, no DRS enabled yet. It will be enabled on lap 9 as Lighty dives down the inside of Maze. Not sure if he cut the corner there slightly, but he has got the move done. There's plenty of respect given, and Lighty is through and he's up to P6. I think we've also seen a move done. I think it was Recon on George. He's up to P11, so he's got ahead now of George and Alan Kay respectively. The 2 Mercedes teammates now swap, with Jack much quicker than Spike think that was done from team orders, to be honest. And Jack is now right on the back of Warren, and Warren in fact is right on the back of Sean. But it is Lyronix who has pulled away. 2.3 seconds, 2.4 seconds now, and a gap extends out on lap 7 out of 31. We are pretty much a quarter of the way through the race here in Singapore. Iceman just getting a position with Alan Kay further down the field, but it is Lyronix who, with free and clean air, will begin to just pull away, because Sean is holding up this pack now. There's the yellow flag in sector 2, sector 3. I think it's George that has spun round somewhere in sector 2, sector 3. He's dropped there now, back down to last place. Hopefully he'll keep going. He's been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. Unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen that before in TTL F1, and I don't think we've had a disqualification before in TTL F1. He has been disqualified, he's out the race. Lighty in the meantime has got past Spike, who comes into the pits. Warren in the meantime, and there is Jack trying to go around the outside of him. Again, I think the desync just occurring here slightly. Bit of a tap on the back end. I think they can see each other, you know. Sean is defending this very well though, and he just pulls away slightly on Warren, with Jack all over the back of him. Let's go on board then with Jack as they come through the straight onto turn 6, the kink, and then through down into the braking zone of turn 7. Of course, no DRS enabled yet. It will be enabled on lap 9, and Jack launches from a mile back on Warren. Is he going to commit that down the inside? What a move that is! What a fantastic committed move that is from Jack. Diving down the inside. Fair play to Warren for letting him through pretty much with the space given. But it's Jack who's up to P3, and he's making mass inroads now through the field. He's got Sean up next. I think the position gain further down the field as well. Huswick is trying to get past Mays, I think. In fact, I think the Reynolds have swapped around. I think Huswick now ahead of the Goat. Recon is ahead of S. Graham as well in the meantime, getting very close to the wall there, the Goat, as he comes towards the Anderson Bridge section. In the meantime, we'll go back on board with Jack, who's right on the back of Sean. Not going to launch it this time now down the inside very late. Should have to switch back though, fresher tyres. Back to the tyres, and he has got 4 lap fresher tyres than Sean. But not going to commit the move, and not really an opportunistic overtaking opportunity around this final sector. You have to wait until the straight really to get an overtake done. But all of this time that Sean is just losing Jack is letting Lyronix get away, and that 4 seconds could be very, very crucial come the end of this race. I've got to tell you now, Lighty is on the back of Warren as well. DRS now enabled. Lyronix leads by 4.6 seconds, but this is where Jack can now begin to close up. Is he going to do a launch down the inside into turn 1? He is going to think about it. He's going to go down the inside into turn 1. Sean just forced off track slightly, but Jack has right of way of the road. He should be down the inside here. He gets the move done. Great piece of driving there by Jack, and he is up to P2 with now Warren getting involved as well. Lighty was all over the back of Warren. He must have had a poo exit at the final corner. In the meantime, Warren all over the back of Sean, who is on the same strategy as him, and Jack just beginning to get close down. But 5 seconds the gap as they come through the first sector between Lyronix and Jack. P1 and P2 out on track, and Lyronix, after getting with Jack getting held up, that has really given him the right of way. In the meantime, Hustwick, Mays, the Goat, and Recon have all changed position. 3 wide. Oh, that's never going to work. That was never going to work. That was just silly. Recon diving down the inside, trying to make it 3 wide through a corner you can hardly go 2 wide in. That's unfortunate. I think Recon just mistimed that very slightly, and he has lost his left side end plate damage. Will his luck get better in this race? He will be hoping now for another safety car to come out after that. Unfortunate, he has lost positions to S. Graham as well, which is very unfortunate indeed. But hopefully everyone enjoying the action so far that has unfolded out on track as we begin to approach the halfway stage here in Singapore. It is Lyronix that leads by 4.3 seconds. You can really tell that compound of tyre, the fresher compound of tyre for Jack. He's on 4 lap fresher tyres, and he is beginning to close down Lyronix now, who will be aiming to go one-stop strategy. Warren is coming into the pits, however. He's going to come in early. Jack sets a new fastest lap of the race. Left side end plate, I think, might be missing for Warren. Yes, he's got front wing damage. Left side end plate is missing for Warren as he comes into the pits. Not sure if that's a front wing change for him. It's not a front wing change. I might be going a bit blind, to be honest. The Gort and Mays go side by side through turn 1. A lot of respect being given there, as Team Huswick pulls away now from these two. Lighty as well on the back of Sean is now going to try and get the move done. Around the outside of turn 7. He's going to commit it, you know. Ooh. Thought he was going to try and commit that around the outside in the meantime. The Gort right on the back of Mays, and the Renault, oh, nearly into the back of him. just a little bit of hesitation. The Gort just racing a little bit too aggressively, possibly for my liking. T-War has gone through on Alan K, and he's up to P9. And the McLaren, his teammate, right on the back of Sean in the meantime. Both Ferraris getting hounded by McLaren and a Renault, and of course, Renault next year getting represented in real life by Esteban Ocon replacing Nico Hülkenberg in next season's Renault. That was announced today, as well as Bottas extended his contract by another year. On his 30th birthday, he signed another contract with Mercedes. It is silly season here in F1. So Ocon joining Renault. Comment about that in your comment your thoughts about that in the comment section. I will read them out during the race when the action dies down a little bit. But the Gort, in the meantime, trying to find a way past Mays here. He is looking close enough. Lyronix is into the pitch on the lead of the race. Don't jump out of your seat and thinking, oh, he's crashed coming around the final corner. No, he's into the pits, and that is a lap earlier. That's a lap later, in fact, than where is he? Than Warren. That's what I was trying to find. I was going to say T-Roll for a minute there. But now the Gort down the inside. Should get the move done down the inside. Dives it down the inside. Makes it stick. And the Gort is through, and he is up to P5. That set of hard compound of tyres now beginning to come into play. And the set of hards should begin to now start wearing away. It should be around lap 14, 15, these cars. These tyres, I should say, begin to get away as Lighty and Sean battle off track. Not sure what's going on here. Sean dives it back down the inside of Lighty. Little bit over aggressive driving possibly between both of them. Just keep it calm, guys. Keep it calm. You don't want to ruin your own races. Everyone except from George going around out on track. Hopefully we'll have a steward's inquiry into why he was disqualified for driving the wrong way round out on track. I think he was probably trying to recover the car, and then he's being caught out by the game. Actually just taking a little bit of a deeper line there and just compromised his run out of the hairpin at turn 13. Sean just beginning to pull away, but as a result, Lighty trying to get past Sean. Look at the gap that Jack has got ahead. Jack has got a monumental gap. Nearly 10 seconds we're going on here for Jack, as Sean defends off Lighty in the meantime. We've got on board with Lighty in the meantime. We've got Lyronix and Alan K looking close, and Warren and Spike. Warren is through, around the outside there into the braking zone on Spike. He's got the move done. In the meantime, Lyronix trying to find a way through on Alan K, the Irishman under pressure. He is in the points at the minute. He's in P9 out of 14 drivers going around on track. Lyronix just getting caught on his left rear there on the inside of the curb as Alan K just overshoots that slightly. But Lyronix all over the back of him. He's recently came into the pits. He's got Warren now to worry about him behind. Lyronix, Alan K, he's not even going to fight this, I don't think. Lyronix is going to be through. Down the inside he goes. The Irishman doesn't fight it, and Warren tries to dive it down the inside. Alan K just going a little bit too slow through the corner. Warren, I think, bit of an overcommitment. In the meantime, battle for second. Lighty around the outside of turn 7 on Sean. Gets it done this time. A little bit of a contact with the wheels there. But Lighty is through, and he is up to P2. And I'm important, I know it. Warren may be just letting the best of him get to him. But don't comment in the comment section or anything like that. Don't run your mouth. I am commentating here. I've got an opinion as well as everyone else. In the comment section, Alan K, let's do Spike in the meantime. After that contact, hasn't affected him slightly. He's now out the point. Warren is also out the point as well. Just brought the gaps now down a little bit. As I thought we had a yellow flag there. Thought just recovering that, but possible three-way battle for 6th now beginning to develop. It's Mays defending off Graham and T-Roll. German driver trying to get past the Scotsman here. And there's Graham, and there's Lyronix in the background as well, so this is turning into a bit of a 4-car train. Spike in the background could get involved in this possibly as well. The T-Roll now tries to find a way through on S. Graham. You cannot find a way through down into turn 19. I've seen plenty of drivers dive down the inside there at the final corner, and it's all ended in an absolute tragedy. I was involved in a race when that happened. I went immediately from I think it was P6 up to P3 as a result. Yeah, that's how races can change, guys. And girls that are watching as well. Don't forget the females. The Gort is closing in on Hustwick in the meantime in the background. just had a thought come into my mind there, that's why I'm sniggering a little bit, but there we go. Lyronix right on the back of S. Graham though in the meantime, as Lyronix begins to close him down. Should have the DRS, whether he's got the straight line pace to get past S. Graham is another question, but I think he's got the tyres for sure. The German is now going to dive it down the inside very late, but that was characteristic of Lyronix. Just sort of hesitated on the brakes a little bit, sent it on the throttle down the inside. S. Graham was never going to fight that, and he is through, and he's up to P6. Now Spike beginning to close in on S. Graham as well, and behind. We'll focus on Lyronix on the back of Maze in the meantime. There are battles going on further up the field. As I said, Huswick and Gort for Renault getting going. Lyronix trying to find a way through. He's desperate to get past Maze here. Not sure why there is desperation for Lyronix. Should just take his time and get past whatever's necessary. He's going to go round the outside here now. Spike is round the outside on the background. Brilliant move by Lyronix round the outside, and Spike as well. 2 for 1 round the outside into the second sector of turn 14. Fantastic driving there from both Lyronix and Spike, making it look pretty easy. Their tyres might be wearing away, but come on, you've got to give those guys credit. Brilliant move round the outside. Picturesque moves. Both pretty similar. And they're both through respectively at the P5 and P7. Fantastic stuff as Maze is going to come into the pits. So Maze is into the pits. He has gone a little bit longer on those tyres than expected. He's coming in to 13 lap old mediums, on lap 14 of course here in Singapore. And if you're just tuning in, why would you be tuning in? It is myself, James Head 14, commentating on the action here tonight. No Kieran McGinley, he has been caught up at work. But the Gort is now through on Huswick, and there might have just been a little bit of a hesitation off the throttle there from Huswick as the Gort is through. I think honestly Huswick should have tried to maintain the position and have these guys fight in the meantime. It is round 2 between Warren and Alan Kay, and this time Alan Kay not going as slow as what we thought. He's picked up a lock-up though, picked up on the marbles as well. Not great as S. Graham is out of the race. S. Graham is out of the race, he's crashed into the barrier, he's gone straight on there at turn 8. And that is the end of his race. He is the second retirement out of this race. Well, the first retirement out of this race, with George disqualified, of course, for going the wrong way out on track. Unfortunate for S. Graham, running in a very strong point-scoring position. I think he was in 7th at the time, but now his race capitulates just like that. It's unfortunate, but come on, guys, we've got to have a bit of a debate here. There was a safety car earlier on in the race for Alan Kay spinning out on track. Why is there not a safety car for that? GG, Codemasters. GG. Absolutely great. The logic is just not there. But there we go. I'm complaining about the game a bit too much. Sean now on the back of Alan Kay. It's the only closest battle that there is out on track. Alan Kay on a set of 9-lap old medium compound of tyres. Sean recently been into the pits and on a 1-lap fresh set of hards. Alan Kay come into the pits. No, he's going to go on for at least another lap. Sean now will try and fight a way past. He's got the DRS Auto now running down the straight. I'm just going to put a throat mental in my mouth in the meantime as my voice decides to get a little bit sore in the meantime. Recon's right on the back of this as well. Where the hell's he came from? He's miles back. Recon right on the back, trying to fight his way back into contention. He's on a set of mediums. He won't be going to the end of the race on these, surely. Three-way battle begins. Recon's going to get past Sean, I think, down the inside here at the kink of turn 6. Is he going to go launch it around the outside of Alan Kay? Turn 7. Brilliant move around the outside. Ho, ho, ho. That is one of the best moves I have ever seen delivered around this track. Recon, how late was that on the brakes? Oh my god, what a move round the outside. Fair play to Alan Kay, might have just give him the benefit of the doubt there, but come on. Recon, if Alan Kay put his full 100% effort into that, then my god, Recon has just done an absolute world-class move round the outside. Fantastic. Sean gets past Alan Kay as he runs deep into the hairpin. Recon, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Trying to make up for lost time, trying to make up for those for that front-wing damage that of course he got at the right side end plate through turn 17 early on in the race. But what a move that was around the outside. This has got me pumped up now. This has also got Lyronix pumped up as he's about to go for the move on Huswick. down the inside into P4 he goes, the German, down the inside of the Brit, and he is making no questions about that. Ironics is through and he's up to P4. Great move. We are now halfway through in Singapore, and thank you for tuning in. If you are just tuning in, go and like, comment and subscribe to the channel. While you're there, you can also follow me on Twitter. I'm at B52Head on Twitter. I'm a very friendly person at the end of the day as well. I'm sure people can vouch for me in the comment section on that. But, in the meantime, it's Jack who leads the way, 15.8 seconds. Of course, he will be coming into the pits very shortly, I think. Next couple of laps, I would imagine, as he comes through Sector 3. There is a glitch barrier there in the background, I do believe. Lighty just coming through the hairpin at turn 13 in second place. All very easy out in front, to be honest, between these two. Could be a sense of... this could be the top two out on track. Lyronix is catching to the Gort now. He's dropped Liam Husbeck in behind. So now, in a Renault sandwich, the racing point is the meat in that sandwich. He now tries to get past the Gort. Until none are pressure tyres, so this should be one-way traffic really for Lyronix. Not going to dive it down the inside into the grandstand section. Of course, very tight, tricky corners here in the final sector. You can force your driving opponents into a bit of a mistake, as the Gort is going to set out onto another lap here in Singapore. Lyronix though, not close enough, I don't think, this time for a move down the inside. However, the closing speed tells otherwise. He's down the inside now, Lyronix. Gort gives him room. Easy. It's up to P3. Never doubt Lyronix in a crisis like that. Lyronix is through and he's up to P3. Very nice move indeed. Well, that now could free Husbeck to catch Gort again. He's on a 3-lap pressure compound of tyres on the set of hards. Of course, if you are new to Formula 1, medium compound of tyres that Jack and Lighty are running up top are the medium of the 3 compound of tyres, more durable than the softs, which you are not seeing currently wearing by anyone out on track. And the mediums can last a little bit longer into the race, but they can never get a one-stop done around here. It's never a one-stop strategy that can be done around here. Also, just to pick up on the hard compound of tyres, which are seen with the Lyronix, the Gort, Husbeck and the likes, and pretty much half the field that's still going round, more than half the field running round, it's that hard compound of tyres. This is the more durable of the 3 compound of tyres, and it does last the longest into the race. And that's what's more important, I think, as drivers now just try to get those tyres as long as possible into the race. Jack is into the pits. I did predict a couple of laps ago he'd be in. But Jack is into the pits. We'll go on board with that pit stop now then. He's out of the pits and he's onto another set of medium compound of tyres. And I think with that safety car coming out, it's going to be really beneficial indeed. Lighty responds in behind as well. Going to be interesting as T-Wars go past Alan Kay. No qualms there for Alan Kay as he lets through T-War. Quicker driver. He's up to P10. Alan Kay could be on for points though. Spike is now going over to one side. He knows what's coming. Warren easily on 8-lap pressure tyres. 9-lap pressure tyres in fact. He's ahead of Spike now out on track. But what is now interesting is Jack has came out ahead of Lyronix. Lyronix was closing him down in terms of the tyre compound. There is a chance that Lyronix can get to the end here. Don't question him for 1 second. Lyronix is a very good driver on his day, and I've got to be honest and say he could get those tyres to the end, but now he's at a massive disadvantage. In the meantime, Warren is trying to find a way past Husbeck further down the field for P4 and P5 this is. Warren trying to move now down the inside. Husbeck just catches the curb slightly, runs off the camber of the corner at turn 11, turn 10 I should say, that is the Singapore thing, through to turns 11 and 12, now into 13 at the hairpin. Warren looking good. He's looking like he's going to size up a move, but I tell you what, I think Husbeck is just going to pull to one side here, to be honest. Warren, he's going to defend this, trying to go around the outside. Warren just overshoots it a little bit slightly. I think he had right of way of the corner anyways. And Warren is through, and he's up to P4, so he's now looking possibly for in FP3, but of course he's still got to come in for another set of tyres. Spike in the meantime trying to catch Liam. Looks like the pace is with Spike. Of course, current championship leader going to be missing out on points, and if you take the results as they were, if these results were as they were, Spike would be dropping points on Ironics, and he would be dropping 10 points on Ironics. I think Ironics would be on 153 and Spike would be on 140. So that I make it 13 points. In theory, the points difference between the championship lead at this moment in time, and that was purely done off my graphic that I had to the right hand side of me there. Spike in the meantime now trying to go down the inside of Liam Hustwick. Forget about theory. Ooh, just a little bit overcommitted into the corner. Might have to have a look at that. Might have to have a look at that back later on in the session. But Spike ahead of Liam Hustwick now. I think he was going to get past anyways, so I think Spike is now ahead. In the meantime, though, bit of a conversation going on in the comment section between Kiki and Andy. Andy, of course, commentating on using the TTTV channel. Of course, you do want to check him out as well. He is an AOR F1 commentator at the end of the day, as well as Andy. And if you do want to check him out on Twitter, you can at him at Andy81287, and I hope he appreciates the shout out that he's just got of the stream as well. Probably can't hear us because he's at work at the minute. Oh, I'm turning your volume up. You know you want to. Broadcast at everyone in your work. Go on. Maze getting attacked now by Nexus Iceman, and these two have a bit of history between themselves because, of course, Iceman, former commentator here in TTG, as Iceman knows he's into the... Oh my god. Jesus, missing his braking point completely there. Iceman nearly into the back of Maze. As I was about to say, he was previously commentator of Project Cars 2 until yours truly took over. But a little bit of, let's just say, blood boiling between these two, and it could be shown out on track here. It's the closest battle out on track in the meantime. However, I am going to cut some more prominent battle that's beginning to develop. It is Recon and Liam Hustwick. It is 6th and 7th out on track. More than halfway through here in Singapore. And there's Jack who leads the way by 6.3 seconds. Alan Kay is into the pits. There's a nice man looking very close. Not close enough though. We're back on board with Recon. That Haas now chasing down the Renault. And of course, Jack, as I said, leading the way. 6.6 seconds. He pulled out that gap massively. Since coming out the pits, that was a second coming out the pits. Oh, Recon dives down the inside of the hairpin. Oh, it's going to get a little bit tight for Hustwick. Hangs it around the outside nicely. He hangs it around the outside nicely as Recon now trying to make up for lost time. As I say, he's going to be a bit angry in that cockpit, if I've got to be honest. He wants to try and find a way through on Hustwick. He's never going to get to the end of this race, though. And I've said a medium compound tyres, and in fact, if he can just spot out down this middle front, his left front tyre, that I do believe might be beginning to blister. It's right down the centre of the tyre. It's a thin black line going through the centre of the tyre. If you can't spot it out, I can, and that is a blister. And Liam Hustwick into the pit. The Gort is is getting overtaken by Warren down into turn 1. What is that camera angle? What is that? What on earth is that? Anyways, Warren is through. Warren got the move done anyways, but what on earth was that camera angle that I came on board with? My god, honestly. Warren is through that on the Gort, and he is up to P3. Just now starts to simmer down a little bit out on track. T-Raw trying to get close to Sean then in the meantime. P7 and P8 out on track. We have got 11 laps to go, including this one, as Graham has left the session, retiring after a crash at turn 8, which is the corner these two are just about to come through now. It's this right-hander here. T-Raw looking very, very close on Sean. One thing that I'd like to pick up on down in the bottom right, if you are new to Formula 1, if you are new to TTTV, I'd like to pick up on the ERS, and that is the yellow percentage that you can see in the bottom right, just above the spectator menu and the high GUI buttons there. and 35% of ERS for Sean. T-Roll made a massive mistake out of the hairpin on 32% as well. So similar levels of ERS, and that is the energy recovery system that is employed in Formula 1. And whenever you, essentially, long story short, whenever you brake, you gain and you save up some of that energy. And if you are in ERS mode 0, you haven't got any ERS running at all. However, if you are in, I'll take for example, if you're in ERS mode 2, like Lighty is, it's just as ERS mode 3, that is a high ERS mode, which means he can use and deploy that, deploy that energy as much as possible. So just a little bit of a guidance there on the ERS system, and hopefully everyone that might be new, I know somebody that is watching might be new to Formula 1, so there's a good explainer for that person, or those people that are watching are totally new to this channel. I do appreciate you for tuning in, by the way. It is a long old race here being by myself in the commentary box. Hopefully Kevin McGinley though is doing well at work. I think he might be home now, possibly. I'm just going to have a check of my Twitter to see if that is the case, and see if he is watching on. Of course, Kevin McGinley would have been commentating, he would have been the main commentator. I would have been back in the co-commentary position if it was as normal. Looking at, and actually just an interesting note to pick up, I've just been handed this now actually, with me commentating. Only 5 drivers participated in the practice session that unfolded just before this session actually occurred, the qualifying and the race. Recon, my set source was a 35.5, Lyronics on a 38.5, Alan Kay on a 40.7, George on a 40.9, and Sean on a 41 flat. Thought I'd get that in. I have missed that by about an hour, so I do apologise, and I will pick up on that later on. But in the meantime, it is Jack who leads the way, and again that gap has pulled out massively. It's 10.9 seconds the gap. We'll run you through the order now, as Spike has gone through on T-Raw and he's into the pit, so no surprise there. T-Raw into the pit, 9 double hard, but you can see that thin line through the middle of the front tyres. That is definitely blistering occurring on those tyres. So T-Raw has been struggling, possibly getting out on the marbles out on track. The marbles, a little bit of grainy bits that come off the tyres. There's a front wing change there as well for T-Raw, so that is probably appreciating why he was struggling. Again, what is with the camera angle coming out of turn 3? That's me. Recon though, right on the back of Huswick in the meantime, trying to make up for lost time after that contact with the wall early on, of course. And Recon now decides to go inside. Huswick not going to defend this at all. Recon is through. He's on much fresher tyres. He's up to P8. He's got 9 seconds to catch Spike ahead. And Spike is now trying to pressurise Sean in behind. And Spike trying to gain as much points as possible, take him forward in the championship battle as we move into Japan next week at the Suzuka International Circus. Hopefully you will tune in for that. It should be myself and Hugh McGinley for that once again next week, barring any mishaps or barring any delays at work. Spike in the meantime though, all over the back of Sean as they come through the final sector through turn 16 and 17. Warren is into the pit. He should be coming out just ahead of these guys, I would imagine. Through the final sector, these two go into the grandstand section. Now into turns 19, 20 and 21 I should say. This is 22 and 23 coming up. Sean under pressure now from Spike. You can see that ERS now deployed. ERS mode 2 just opens up the DRS as well, which runs on the rear wing of the car. Recon sets a new fastest lap, 37.5. Of course, I think there is a fastest lap point out there as well. Spike tries to get past Sean down the inside into turn 5, never going to work, but he will have the run out of turn 6. This should be easy pickings now for Spike. Should be easy down the inside of the kink at turn 6. Now round the outside line into turn 7, and Sean does not battle that. Spike is through and he's up to P5. Very nice stuff there by Britt on his fellow countryman. With Warren as well. Battle of the Brits really between these three now. Sean tries to hold on to the back of Spike. In the meantime, Recon trying to close in on this as well, but Warren closing in on Sean and Tiro. In fact, we're on the back of Maze, and that is at the same section we've just seen go through, and Tiro is up to 11th. Back to Warren, though, in the meantime, trying to prioritise his run by going out wide at the Anderson Bridge, and that has prioritised his run very neatly. Going to try and go around the outside. Are we going to see a similar move to what we saw with Recon later on, earlier on tonight? Yes, we are. Brilliant. Fantastic move around the outside again. Great respect shown between both of them, and it's Warren that is up to P6. Sean now down into P7. Again, fresher tyres really helping the cause here tonight, and the fresher tyres that you're on, the more tyre grip that you have got in them, and possibly the more warming they'll do as well. Recon picked up a 3-second time penalty. Back on board with the leader though. It is 14.3 seconds now to Ironics, who leads the way. I think he might have just had a bit of a moment there with the wall, possibly. Just saw him rubbing against the wall, or very close to the wall in fact. Hasn't picked up any noticeable damage. Ironics still in second, Goat in third. How on earth is the Goat still going round out on track? 23 lap all hards. He can't make it to the end, can he? I've seen somebody make 30 laps before round here. He cannot make it to the end, surely. If he makes it to the end, then I'll give him drive of the day. I'm not promising any money this time like I did with Warren last week. Goodness me. Oh, Warren very close to the wall there. Spike having a perfect run through there, is getting the time, and Warren so close on that left side end plate to hitting the wall, and he might be just attacking it a little bit too much. Just calm it down, Warren, if you're listening. Just calm it down. You're going to catch him anyways, I think. You are going to catch him. Recon then, on the back of Sean, to come through what is, I'm going to call tonight Recon Corner, after he got around the outside of, I think it was S. Graham, earlier on in the race. Sean, in the meantime, under pressure. Recon surely not going to dive down the inside here. Would have been very silly. Would have been very silly if he went down the inside there. Sean is very much under pressure here from Recon. In the meantime, we'll cut to Dill Warren right on the back of Spike, and he is going to try and go for the move down the inside here. He's not. You think second of it. Got fresher tyres though. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually does get a better run out here and goes down the outside at turn 5. Recon and Sean battling. Sean is down the inside once again. Warren, in the meantime, not going past Spike. And now, because they see each other out on track, Warren is now through down the inside kink at turn 6. And he's got the move done. Spike not going to defend that. And Warren is through and he's up to P5. In the meantime, though, Recon trying to get past on the inside line now. And that's going to be up to P7 for Recon as well. So Recon is through after getting held up slightly by Sean. He's up through into P7. 6 laps to go in Singapore as we approach, in fact, the final corner with Jack. We are now 5 laps away from the end of this race. It's Jack who leads, Ironics in second, Goat in third, who is still going on 24 lap old medium compound, on hard compounded tyres. Now getting closed in by Lighty in behind. Putting in a good performance here, Lighty, for potential podium. And I think with Warren not able to bridge 10 seconds, it's certainly looking likely that Lighty is going to pick up a podium here. And if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be his first podium of the season for Lighty. Let me just run through quickly and have a check. Lighty, yeah, it will be his best results of the season so far, even if he finishes in 4th. But Lighty has never had a podium this season. So, it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. Will the Goat make it, and will Lighty get past? And I think both of those answers could be beginning with Y and ending in yes. I've just given out the word. Terrible. But there we go. The Goat now under pressure from Lighty in the meantime, as the German tries to come at the Brit. He's done very well to get around on 25 lap all hards. I've got to say, the Goat. Full credit to the Goat here tonight for trying such an unorthodox strategy. I remember on the former game on F1 2018 that I definitely saw somebody do 30 laps on a set of what was the medium compound tyre, the white wall tyre, and actually make it to the end not only make it to the end, but win the race. Of course, different scenarios here with the new game and the new physics and everything. But can the GOAT make it to the end? Because this is going to be fascinating to watch. Jack has picked up a 3-second time penalty. Because Lighty is coming through the final sector there, I'm going to quickly check the penalty scenario. 3 seconds worth for Jack, 3 seconds worth for Lyronix. The GOAT has got a penalty as well. Lighty has got a penalty. Dill Warren has got no warnings, but keep that in mind, he did rejoin. Drive through and for Spike, which I think he did serve, and he's got a penalty as well. Recon has got a 5-second time penalty and 2 other time penalties as well. Sean's got 2 warnings. Liam Hustwick has got 1 warning. Iceman on his lonesome has got a penalty, which he's just picked up on that lap as well. As Lighty, we have missed that move. Lighty is through and he's up to P3 ahead of the GOAT. But now, with Dill Warren catching, I tell you what, it's not out of the question yet whether Lighty could get a P3, and the GOAT's going to come back at him here, trying to go around the outside of turn 7. He was trying to commit that, and I mean, on 26 lap all tires, you've got to give him credit for trying to fight that around the outside. Oh, and he's back through because Lighty loses it under pressure. He loses it, drops it through turn 8, where we saw S. Graham, of course, crash out earlier on in the race. And Lighty now has got to do it all over again as the GOAT fights for a P3, and the GOAT, again, going for his best finish of the season. 2 best finishes of the season due for these 2 drivers as the GOAT makes his car look as wide as possible there. But all of this time, look at him, he's in the background of shot now. Warren and Spike beginning to catch. This is not over for P3, as we are just about to approach the final 3 laps. In fact, we are on the final 3 laps here in Singapore with Jack out in front, 16.5 seconds. It's not even questionable now who's going to win this race. Jack is going to win it. Lyronix in second, GOAT in third, Lighty in fourth, as Warren begins to hunt down the hunter becoming, well, not the hunter becoming the hunted, but Lighty trying to hunt down GOAT. He is certainly the hunter that is becoming the hunted in behind, with Dill Warren really closing up. Here's the inside move now for Lighty down into turn 1. He's got the move done. The German is up the inside of the Brit, and he is through. He is up to P3. The GOAT now down into P4, but look at Warren. He's hunting them down. He is eyeing up prey like an eagle eyeing up a little rat or a little mole or whatever they eat. Warren closing in on his prey, which is the GOAT now, as he tries again to battle back on Lighty. He's doing such a good job, I've got to be honest. He is going to get driver of the day no matter what has happened. He has gained 4 position from it as well, but still Warren is into the wall in the background of shot. He hasn't picked up any end plate damage from my reckoning. He has gained a little bit of time as a result though. Warren hunting them down, and it's still looking very likely now. From what I said, 10 seconds was impossible to catch. That might be just going out the window, and you can throw the rulebook out the window as well, because this is about to get very interesting. We're on to the final 2 laps for Jack though in the meantime, as he's just came across the line around turn 3 there. Lyronix in second, Lighty in third. Of course, anything can happen still. We've got 2 laps to go. Anything can happen. Spike's losing time to Warren, who now is all over the back of a very vulnerable GOAT here. The GOAT under pressure. Warren shouldn't try and Warren to do anything. He shouldn't try and Warren a move down the inside. I really hate that pun, to be honest. But he is going to get past GOAT surely. But it's all a question of, if the GOAT holds him up a little bit more, will Lighty get P3? As now Warren opens up the DOS, and it's easy down the inside here for Warren. Down the inside of his fellow countryman. The GOAT fights it though, trying to fight it hard. But Warren is through and he's up to P4. Fantastic racing here in TTL F1. Mr. McGinley has left me with a very good race, I've got to be honest. But Lighty getting hunted down. 2 seconds that gap. It's going to be costly now. I think these tyres are now starting to reach a bit of a temperature where they aren't going to be working at the same temperature as they were, say, a lap ago. And Warren now beginning to feel that possibly, as now he comes under pressure as T-War is out of the race. T-War is out of the race. And that is in sector 1. I have a feeling that might have been through possibly turn 3, through turn 5 possibly, I'm not sure. Try and pick that up as they come through. They've just came through the second sector actually, the leaders. Warren's onto the, Jack is onto the final lap with a 16-second gap. He can coast it home from here. He's going to win. But what is going to be interesting is a battle for third and a potential battle for fifth now heating up as well. Spike getting closer to the GOAT. He's dropping down through the field. Very much so now. And the GOAT, got to give him credit. He's going to get that car home hopefully. Without a puncture, without anything else. Come on, GOAT, you can get it home. But Warren hunting down Lighty. This is for P3. Look at the penalties and factor in the penalties, stewards, if you are watching back the stream. Lighty has got a penalty, but Warren, remember, he didn't have any warnings before he disconnected, and there has been a bit of a glitch in the previous games, of course, where as Spike is going to try and go down the inside of the GOAT, not going to happen. In the meantime, though, yeah, as I was saying, Warren, you'll have to watch out for the stewards. I think they'll be aware of that. Spike's on the back of the GOAT. Not going to commit that down the inside. Lighty now under pressure from Warren. Not getting close enough though. This is really the final opportunity to get past until the straight as Spike is down the inside of the GOAT. He gives up. And Spike is through and he's up to P5. And eventually it was inevitable that that was going to happen. But Lighty, very close to the wall. A little bit of lag going on here. I'm not sure if this has been picked up on my end or on the driver's end as well. Lighty defends it well. Warren just sticking in behind, waiting as they come across the Anderson Bridge section for the final time. Jack has come across the line to win the race though. Fireworks go off in the back end of shot. Lighty goes very deep into the hairpin. Out wide, he gets the prioritises the traction up the corner. Warren though, Lighty's going to defend this inside line. It's going to have to be round the outside. Very bold stuff here from Warren. Nearly being driven into the wall by Lighty, and that is not what you like to see. Lighty could have just given him a little bit more room. I'm not sure if there was an overshoot or a lock-up on the brakes there from Lighty. We'll have to review that. Ironics is across the line in second. Meds is across the line in 11th as well. As Iceman is on the back of Liam Huswick through the hairpin. Lighty, in the meantime, is going to be coming home into P3, but questions will have to be answered after that. Did he drive him into the wall? It was a very tricky camera angle. Spike across the line in fourth. He's happy with that. The GOAT, driver of the day by far. 30 laps, he's done a one-stop. Unreal. Warren in sixth. Recon going to be coming across the line in seventh. Sean in eighth, but we're going to focus on this battle for the final point out on track. It's Hustwick and Iceman fighting it out. It's going to be very close. They're not going to lie on. They're going to lie everything on the line here. Hustwick is just going to come out on top, I think. Across the line. Hustwick gets it, and Iceman had a 3-second time play, so he gets 9th place. As we have came here to the end of the Singapore Grand Prix, and it is Jack who takes a very dominant win out on track here in Singapore. Podium celebrations as Jack, the Brit, wins here in Singapore, and that should give him a lot of confidence for the rest of the season. I think that moves him into third in the championship as well. A very dominant win by around 16 seconds in the end to Ironics in second. Lighty in third. Questions will be raised though on whether that podium should stand. Honestly, if I've got a personal opinion on it, to me the camera angle looked like he drove him into the wall, but I'm not sure. Stewards will have to look out for that. In the meantime though, Jack takes it by nearly 17 seconds in the end. A very good lap. Very good race from him. Dominant win from P2, getting the jump off the start and getting and staying there pretty much right from the end to the end of the race. Ironics in second, Lighty in third, German second and third, but of course these are provisional results, don't take them as they are. Spike in fourth, the GOAT in fifth, Warren in sixth, Recon in seventh, Sean in eighth, Hustwick in ninth, Iceman in 10th, with Mays and Alan Kay also finishing in 11th and 12th respectively. We did only lose 3 cars out of that race, 2 DNFs in total, T-Roll very late on, as well as S. Graham earlier on in the race, and George being disqualified for going around the wrong way. That will probably get looked into at the end after the stewards, and of course plenty of deadlines going to be reached here in TTL F1. And if you are a driver listening in, I think it probably will be around 10, 10:15 when you've got to get your footage in by. So I would get a move on, leave the session, and leave the stream and everything and just get on with your share factory and record your POV, of course. Remember, no POV will get you penalty points at the end of the day, as some people have found out this season. But we are at the end here of the Singapore Grand Prix. Fantastic, fantastic race from Jack, who takes it in Singapore, with Lyronix holding on for second in the end, Lighty in third. Whether that is the case will remain to be seen. Keep an eye up on Twitter at TTL F1 is the Twitter handle if you do want to follow the league. You can also follow me on there. I'm not JamesHead14 on there. I'm at B52Head on there. So come and check me out on Twitter. I'm a very friendly person. I will be able to speak to you about literally everything. Hopefully everyone has enjoyed the commentary here as well. I'll have a final check of the comment section here tonight. Let me have a check on the comment section. Of course, TTFL is on tomorrow night, and that should be with Malk. That should be with Malk tomorrow night. As a result of my voice starting to go, I am going to take a break tomorrow off commentary. It is just purely to rest up my voice. I have got a double commentary on Saturday as well with League of Europe and TT Project Cars as well. So hopefully I will mention that in the comms chat after. But yeah, I think tomorrow night I'm going to have a rest up and let Malk do his thing. If Malk can't attend, you will be stuck with me for TTFL once again this week. And of course, we move on in TTFL this week, and I will give you details about that now. We are going to be moving on to Russia. So Spasiba from Russia. I'm probably going to be saying Spasiba from Russia tomorrow night. It is at the Sochi Autodrome, and the Sochi Autodrome, of course, most famous, being the host venue of the Winter Olympics in 2014, and hopefully I will give a lot more facts about that if I'm on commentary tomorrow. But in the meantime, I've been JamesHead14, and I will see you around. So thank you very much for watching here in TTL F1, and until next time, which will probably be tomorrow, goodbye.